Hey everybody. Rob Cootie here. Welcome to podcast number 4. I can't believe it. Here we are, Thursday, February 20th, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. You are at the MLM-Solution podcast. We are here to do another podcast about important basic principles that make this business go. We hope that this information will empower you to make 2020 your best year ever. With that being said, let's talk about what we're going to cover today. You don't want to miss it because here's what we're going to cover. You got to determine what kind of lifestyle you want from this business model, because that will help determine the type of business you're going to build. As I've said before, folks, you have to understand exactly what it is you want from this business, and we're going to cover that and complete the basics today. And from this point on, we're going to get into some really cool, neat business building tactics that have been around for a long time. They will empower you to make this year your best year ever. You don't want to miss the future episodes, but right now, let's get the show on the... All right. Glad to have you guys here today. I'm excited to do the show today. I'm going to be touching on something once again that's going to tie all the last episodes. We're on number 4. We're going to tie the other 3 together with today's. Tomorrow, we're going to cover the last subject, which is a basic subject. You know, some of you guys may find this boring. I totally get it. I can understand if you say, man, this stuff can be tough to watch. But here's the thing. Tomorrow, we're going to cover determine the type of business that you want to build. Determine the type of business you need to build. Okay. And all of this is going to come together tomorrow. But today we're going to talk about determine the type of lifestyle you want, because that's going to determine the type of business that you're going to build and the kind of income you're going to need. All of this is going to come together to make this wonderful, beautiful picture in your mind that you can focus on. And I'm telling you, once you do these things and you put them down on paper, you're going to look back and you're going to say, man, I'm glad I listened. I'm glad I took notes. I'm glad I understood, because I'm telling you, this will have a profound effect. With that being said, let's do our daily gong. There was a little bit of a glitch there. Don't know what was going on. But anyway, there we go. All right, we're off and running. In the future, like I said, we're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to add some humor to the shows. Right now, I'm a rookie. I'm learning as I go. Okay, so guys, always remember, we're there with you. We have, in fact, been where you are. I don't know where most of you are, but I'm telling you, we've gone from A, we've gone to Z. Okay, we've had the good, the bad, the ugly. We've had those no-shows. We've driven those long, lonely miles to meetings. You know, as you look back, you think, man, I can't believe I did that. You have to realize that Paul and I came into this industry when it was very primitive. All you had was a phone. That's it. If you were going to meet people, you had to get out and go face to face with people. When you were building a prospect list, it was literally getting business cards and following up with those people, cold calls, or talking to someone right there on the spot. You would think that that would not work. It worked. I mean, now it's so easy with technology to prospect people. I think the biggest challenge anybody has in this industry is talking to people. People get nervous, and I totally get that. But you know what? When I developed the message, which is called music to their ears, years ago, I used to walk around. What I'd started doing, first and foremost, I started saying, okay, I needed this type of person in my business. And then once I realized I needed that type of person, I said, what turns this person on? What is it that captures their attention? I always wanted to be honest. I always wanted to have integrity. I did not want to mislead people in any way, shape, or form. And what I did is I developed this message that was full of keywords. It was chock full of keywords that had my high quality prospects on the edge of their seat wanting to learn more. And I learned to use the teasing method, if you will, because I never gave them the full story. I would always walk away and they would want more. I remember calling this one guy, and he was a business owner, owned his own multi-million-dollar business. And I was so busy, I didn't have a chance to get back to him until 4 or 5 days later. And so as I was going down my list and I called him, he said, dude, where have you been? He said, I've been waiting for you to call me back. He said, let's go. Let's sign me up. Let's rock and roll this thing. He ended up being my biggest distributor. So you never know how that message is going to resonate with people. And when you use the tease method a little bit, in other words, I teased him, I walked away, and without dragging the story on, I'll tell you the rest of the story so you can see how unique this is. Today's recruiting environment versus then. This guy was building this multi-million-dollar home. The fiance and I at the time, and my mom were out looking at homes because we were looking to build or buy. And in the state that we were in at that time, as people were building their homes, people would leave their homes open where you could go in and kind of tour them. You know, they trusted people weren't going to tear them up. They weren't going to steal stuff, and et cetera. And of course, that's the way it worked out. But the point is that we were able to go into people's homes and get ideas, look at the quality of work the builder was doing and all this and that. And that's what we were doing. And we were in the basement, me, my mom, and my fiance and the kids at the time. We were in the basement. Also, we heard this male voice. And this guy came around, which wasn't unusual. There were other people that toured these homes too. And we turned around and the guy goes, what are you doing in my home? And we're like, we didn't know that we weren't supposed to be here. Anyway, you get the point. That's how I met this guy. And he followed me out to the car. We quickly bonded. We had great conversations, wonderful man. And he realized there was nothing amiss here. And so we traded business cards. And we talked a little bit. And then I followed up with him a couple of days later, told him what I was doing. And he said, please get back with me. I'm really busy. I want to talk more. And that's when it took the 5 days to get back with him. So see how life works, how the prospecting works. And I developed the music to their ears message in these trial and errors, situations like this. And once I've developed the message, I used to walk around my place and I would constantly by myself rehearse it over and over and over. Why did I do that? Because I wanted to own it. I wanted that prospect to look in my eyes and say, this person has confidence. They know what they're saying. They're talking fluidly to the point. Bam. I'm telling you, the posture that comes with that is amazing. Now, the point is that you can make this business work with the tools we have available today, but additionally, the things that we're teaching you. Why did I tell that story? Because we talk about the basics. Remember, we're covering the basics. Think about how boring and repetitious that was for me to walk around my place constantly saying the same message over and over and fine-tuning it and then learning it again. And I knew I had to own it, but it had to be truthful. It had to be honest. It had to be straightforward. It had to be to the point, and it had to be chock full of words that would capture their attention. When they heard the word, they pop up and say, that's what I'm looking for. And, a lot of times these high quality prospects would tell me later and say, Rob, when you were telling me initially about what you're doing, you said some things there that captured my attention, which those words exemplified exactly what I was looking for. I didn't know if it was going to be network marketing business model. I didn't know if it was going to be franchising. I didn't know what I was going to do, but all I knew is I needed to get my personal time back. I needed control of my life, and I couldn't afford to take a step back in income. I couldn't afford to take a hit on my lifestyle. I had to find something that I could do in my spare time that would eventually replace the income so I could maintain the lifestyle. And the things that you were telling me had me on the edge of my seat. And I couldn't stop thinking about our conversation. And I was hoping that you were, in my own mind, I was hoping that you were honest, that you were sincere, that you were telling me the truth. And once I realized through my own investigation that the things you were telling me were true, then guess what? I couldn't wait for you to get back with me. I was chomping at the bit. I'm ready to go. So I tell you that because these basics can be boring, but look at the impact those basics can have. And I'm going to tell you that happened over and over. Paul will be on future broadcasts to help spice things up. But, he's in London and he's on a different time frame, and he's our social media guy. And he also does some other things. And it's hard for us right now to do that. But he has his own stories that he could tell you, that he could share. And, we look back and we were in the Fred Flintstone era. I mean, all we had was literally a phone, And some of us, if we could afford them, back then, fax machines, because when they first came out, they were expensive. Hey, before I get started, let me just say this, guys. If you like what you're hearing, comment. You can comment. I keep forgetting that. And Paul says, Rob, you can tell them to comment, and I forget about that. I don't know enough about this software. Even though I am a techie, this software can be confusing sometimes. And you can see me looking around, but there is the ability for you to comment. Also, please give us a thumb up if you like what you're hearing. In the future, when Paul and I are on here together, we're going to be able to take some questions. Okay, so right now it's just me, and the dashboard can be confusing and overwhelming trying to do the show, stay on topic, and do all those things at the same time. As you can tell, I have my list, so I don't forget what I need to cover. So you'll see me looking around a little bit, but that's because I also have my water. Yep. And it is water, that's not anything else. And I have my coffee as well. So I'm good to go. Hopefully you guys are too. So, also, you may hear something. And if you do, there's Oliver. You saw him pop up. There's my dachshund. Next to him is Luke, our beagle. Next to them is our little Shih Tzu, Sophie. And in there, right next to Sophie, I don't know if you can see her, right there is Lily, a little Yorkie Pomeranian mix. That's what she is. No, we didn't plan on. We're not one of those people. We didn't plan on having that many animals. But on most of them are rescue. I did not have animals for 20 years. I was single for 21 years, and I didn't have animals for 20 years. Love animals, love kids, love people. But these guys literally, most of them were on the way to the pound. And Luke, our little beagle, was beaten so bad you couldn't pet him without him biting you. He'd draw blood. He'd get underneath the bed or he'd get back in a corner where he felt safe. And boy, he'd come at you with all he had. And he drew blood on me a few times. But I always talk to my animals like kids. And I told him, I said, dude, you can bite me all you want. I'm not going to hit you. I'm going to love on you. And it took us about 6 or 8 months before he finally would climb up in our lap. There's a lot of stories. I'm sure if you guys have pets, you guys have the same stories. Ours are no different. But the point is, we were told that if we did not come pick Luke up today, he was going to the pound for the 3rd time. And here, if they go there the 3rd time, they put him down, which is really sad. I hope that policy has changed. So I could not go to bed at night knowing that I could have saved that guy and let him die. I just couldn't do it. So we ended up, Lily, almost the same thing. Little, she's only 4 pounds. She's only like this big, 4 pounds. And she was going to the pound. She would not have survived. And Lily was a gift. Sophie was a gift from my grandkids. And when I got her, she was literally that big. She could fit in the palm of my hand. How do you say no to that? They knock on the door, open the door, and happy birthday, Grandpa. You can't say no. I love them all. They're awesome. Oliver, the dachshund, is the one that we bought on purpose. Anyway, that's the menagerie that you see behind me. And sometimes you'll hear, the reason I bring it up, because sometimes you're going to hear Oliver as he sat up. Anyway, he'll sit up and whine. You know what he's telling me? He wants me to cover him up because dachshunds burrow. And he wants his blanket. So sometimes you're going to hear him whining, and sometimes I'm going to have to get up because he won't shut up unless I cover him up. That's the only reason I tell you that story. All right, let's get to the show. Enough of that. Anyway, give us a thumbs up if you like what we're telling you. The feedback is so important. I can sit here and talk in front of the camera all day long. But if I don't know if you guys like what you hear, then guess what? I can't know if the subject matter is helping you out. So please comment. Please hit a thumbs up when you can and share our videos. Help others. Help them by sharing this. Let them decide whether this content is for them, but please share and let them know what's going on every day at 11 a.m., as you know. Okay, so let's get to the matter at hand. What we have here is a subject matter, once again, that could be a little boring. I'm going to try my best to dress it up and make it a little fun, but it's going to be, you got to determine what kind of lifestyle you want. Now, that seems really silly and really redundant over the things we've talked about already, but we have to address it because it helps determine what kind of business and income you need to build. And people say, well, lifestyle, what is a lifestyle? Is a lifestyle? Well, no, it really isn't. Because as we touched on the other day, here's what's going on, guys. Look, if you say I only need $1,500 a month, then that's a supplementary income for a lot of people. And you could use that money to invest. You can use that money to pay your kids go to private school. You could use that to pay off bills. You determine, obviously, what that money is going to be used for. So did it have a major impact on your lifestyle? Was it a life-changing event in your lifestyle? In those situations, you determine whether it's a life-changing or not. For a lot of people, it's not. But that's not, as you know, I don't care if you're making $10 a month. I'm going to shake your hand and say, congratulations. You're making a profit. You're doing something. You're moving ahead. You're doing something positive for yourself and your family. That's never bad. Okay. So the amount is not an issue. You determine the value of the amount and the impact it has on your life. But you need to know what is possible here. And part of that is understanding the lifestyle change that can happen. So when you're sitting down and you join a new company and you're making out your 90-day goals, part of the thing that you put down is what kind of lifestyle do I want to create? Now, can you do it in 90 days? Yes. If you work your tail end off and if all these synergistic things come together and the dynamics work, it's amazing what I've seen happen. It never really happened to me. Did I make major progress in 90 days? Absolutely. Did I have these huge checks in 90 days? Not really. I've had some pretty good ones, but here's the thing. My 90-day goals were, I would say, moderate because I didn't want to put too much pressure on myself. Look, I'm going to go get her. I'm going to go after it. Okay. It wasn't that my numbers, most people are blown away by the numbers I put down and be like, oh my gosh, I don't even know if I could do that in a year. That's not the point. I look at my abilities. I look at my time available. I look at what I can do without killing myself physically and mentally and spiritually. I say, okay, I can put in this many hours. I can achieve the following. I have a realistic chance of achieving these numbers in 90 days. Now, we'll get into the 90-day mini blast later. And in the 90 days, what's important about them here in this discussion is that you put realistic stuff that you can achieve in those 90 days. And part of that, what kind of lifestyle do you want? For instance, if I was doing a 90-day mini blast and I was laying it out in front of me, and now it comes so second nature, I have to force myself to write it down because there's power in writing things down. We all know that. But sometimes I'll get lazy and say, well, I've done it so many times. I know in my head what I can achieve. I know the numbers. I know what I need to do. I don't need to write them down. I have to force myself. And it's not just this business model. It's not just network marketing. Okay. It's life. If I'm doing it, Paul and I are saying, okay, look, we got to do the following, blah, blah, blah. Paul and I will sit down and we'll make a list of things that we got to get done. And sometimes it's 30 days. Sometimes it's 15 days. Sometimes it is 90 days. We have a lead generation site that we're going to be putting together. And I'm going to tell you right now, that's going to be 90 days or longer. It's pretty complex. And you guys are going to be excited about that. That's coming down the road. Matter of fact, you can go to, and I'll tell you guys, I'll have another episode, probably tomorrow's show. It's a lead generation site, state of the art. And Paul and I did it years ago, not getting off topic here, but just to let you guys know real quick. Years ago, I developed this lead generation site, and I did it for myself to see if it was possible. I had it designed. I didn't do it, even though I can code. And I had this designed. I think the guy was in Brazil, or I can't remember. He was overseas somewhere. But anyway, he designed it, and we put it up. And I was doing beta testing. I did not even advertise it. I had people calling me from all over the world, contacting me, email. I had people offer to buy that from me. I had people begging for me to put it out there so that they could use it. They said, look, I've done all the lead generation sites online, and this is by far the best. And I was blown away by the leads I got and the quality of the leads. I did not expect that. I was just testing it out to see if it was viable. Well, the reason I tell you that, because Paul and I are going to be doing that down the road, which will help you guys tremendously. It'll generate leads for any industry. Anyway, back to the topic at hand here. The point is that you have to determine in those 90 days what kind of lifestyle you want, okay? And when we have a lead generation site like that, you're going to be able to really stretch your dreams out there in those 90 days, because you're going to have a constant flow of high quality leads coming through your system, not counting the people that you may already know, then maybe the people you run into, whatever the case may be. But it's going to give you another option. So the point is that when you're sitting down and you're making out those 90 days, you want to have an idea of the lifestyle you want to have. And then you work your tail end off to make that happen. When I did my 90-day goals, I worked my tail end off. And if I reached those goals in 80 days instead of 90, that was awesome. I didn't stop at 80 days. I kept going. But sometimes it took me 98 days. Okay. But I didn't stop when I reached the 90th day. The 90 days is important for a number of reasons, and that's going to be a power-packed show. I don't even know if I can get everything in an hour. But the thing is that it's going to be a power-packed show. If you don't know what the 90-day mini blast is and the impact it can have, you've got to see that show. And of course, I'll let you guys know what's coming up as we go along. But the point is that when you do those 90 days, you determine, look, in the 90 days, I want to be able to make X amount of money, because that's going to have a major impact on our family. And so that tells you what kind of volume you got to create and what kind of income you can expect, and how many people you need to sponsor. See how all that works together? It's all synergistic. It all has to work together. Anybody can write numbers down on a piece of paper, but if you don't understand the impact you can have, and when you know that impact, when you say, okay, you know what, if I do this, I'm getting really excited, and all I'm doing is writing this down. When you see, and when we teach you how, we have a graph, a 90-day mini blast graph that highlights everything you need to put down. Folks, I'm telling you, when you realize that you have the tools at your disposal to make that happen, when you realize for the first time, you understand the step-by-step, which we have to have a step-by-step guide, which we're going to make available in the near future. When you understand exactly what you need to do, and that you have the tools, and you now have the knowledge to have a realistic chance of achieving those things you put down in 90 days, that excites you. That motivates you. And I want to tell you, getting out of the gate is the hardest part, because even though you have this new knowledge and you have all these new tools and you're excited, look, you're dealing with human beings. Okay. People are going to disappoint you. People are going to mislead you. That's just part of what happens in business, period, in life. How many people have told you they're going to do something regardless of whether it's business or not, and they didn't do it? It's no different here. But that's a different show. We'll get into that, how you can overcome those things and not let those things get you down. Because look, network marketing, I'm not into numerology. I have nothing against it, but I love math, but I'm not into numerology. But the thing is, the numbers in this industry work. And once you understand the numbers, which is another show, and you understand how they work, then you get a little bit thick-skinned, because you realize, okay, you know what? That person said they were going to do this and they didn't do it. It's not a big deal. What is my responsibility to myself and my family, my downline, is what? To stay focused and keep going. Okay. And look, there's going to be a time where you're going to celebrate the no's, because every no gets you closer to a yes. And that's so true. That's a truism that's been in network marketing forever. When I first heard it, I was like, okay. But it's so true. Okay. And I'm going to tell you one of the other things they told us, and this is all relevant. They say, hey, look, you know what? You might go through 20 people and get a no. Number one, it's the timing sometimes in that person's life. It's the money issue in that person's life. They're not going to tell you about that money issue. It could be that the timing is not right for other various personal reasons, okay, that we could speculate all day long. It's not our job to second guess why they said no. Even if we thought, man, this person would be great for the business, I'm really excited about this. You got to let the process play out. You got to realize you're part of the process, and you got to realize that a yes and a no are the end result of that process. And as a professional, I'm going to tell you, as a professional, we learn real quick to get the answer one way or the other as soon as possible and move on. We never put the business building process on hold for one person, no matter how good we think they are. What is our job? To keep moving forward. I would talk to 10, 20 people a day, and I'd follow up with each and every one of those people. Was I always able to reach those 10 or 20? No, I absolutely not. If I had 10 people, there were sometimes I'd only get 2 out of 10, 3 out of 10, and there are other times I get 8 out of 10. Every once in a blue moon, I get 10 out of 10. But it didn't matter, because I was working the numbers. And as they said, there's going to be times you're going to talk to 20 people and get a no. And then all of a sudden, the next 20 people you talk to, you're going to get 10 of them. So what you do is you have to keep moving forward. because you never know. If you focus on this person and wait for their answer, then you're going to miss out on this person. And this person here could be the big shot. Okay, so you don't ever wait for somebody. Well, how does that all tie in? Because when you're going towards your 90-day goals, which the lifestyle you want, and lifestyle encompasses the money, the car, the home, whatever it is that is important to you, that's motivating you to take action, whether it's this or franchising or developing your own product and taking it to market, whatever motivates you, you have to have the ability to stay focused and motivated and go through and willing to go through whatever it takes. And I'm going to tell you that the trip that you're going to take in network marketing has been done many times before, many millions of times before. That's what I'm trying to say. So you're never going to be alone. You're going down a path that's been traveled many times by many famous people and many not so famous. And there's amazing success stories. Are there failures? Absolutely. And you know what? Look, I remember one time I was talking to Mike Diller, and Mike and I got to be pretty good friends. And he said something very profound to me. You know, just when you think you've learned just about everything you need to know, you realize that there's more, obviously, to learn. And you never close your mind to learning, especially in an industry like this. And Mike said, Rob, you're never going to change the 97 percenters into the 3 percenters. He said 97% of the people that you talk to are going to do nothing. What you got to do is find the 3 to 5 percenters. And he was so right. And that's what led to the music to their ears message. Because network marketing, there's an old famous story, saying that I heard from Bill Britt. He said, network marketing's right for everybody, but not everybody is right for network marketing. And it's true. And so when I was going out and first started in the industry, I thought, well, who in their right mind would say no to this business model? All the benefits it can offer, it's a no-brainer. And it really is. But that doesn't mean it's for everybody. You know, some people are happy with their lifestyle. Some people love their job. That's awesome. My job is not to change that. My job was to offer an alternative, whether it was as a supplemental income or a job replacement business, or whether it was a lifestyle change business. That was up to them. My job was to be what? The messenger. That's all I was. And then if the message resonated with them, I became the teacher. So when you do your 90-day goals, we keep going in a circle here, and it all comes back to the lifestyle. Once you do that, you set up your 90 goals and you identify the lifestyle you want, folks, it's going to tell you exactly what you need to do. It is. It's going to tell you, you're going to say, okay, here's all the numbers that are going to work for me to help get that lifestyle. Okay. And the biggest part of the lifestyle aspect is, what is it that you want? Do you want personal freedom? And it used to be, when I put down my lifestyle goal, I put down the word lifestyle, and then right next to it was either the money or the personal time freedom. Okay. I knew that if I got both of those, I'd be happy. Okay. And if I had a choice between the two, to be honest with you, it was the time freedom. I'm getting out of the rat race, and I hate cliches, but there's sometimes cliches are truisms, and this is certainly one of them. I went from the military, where you were told what to say, what to do, where to go, when to be there. I mean, every aspect of your life, what to wear, how to look, every aspect of your life was monitored and controlled. And you kind of use communism to fight communism. You know, you really didn't have a voice. You really didn't have a personality. You had a function to do, and you better do it. And that was okay. You know, I voluntarily re-enlisted. I was there for 21 years. I had a job to do, and I was a professional about it, and I did my job. And I'm glad I did it. But here's the thing. I wanted out of that. And when I went into the corporate world, once I got out of the military, guess what? Even though it wasn't as restrictive, if you wanted to go up the corporate ladder, there was a game you had to play. And I'm not big into playing games. You know, I'm going to bust my butt. I'm going to go above and beyond what you asked me to do. I'm going to give you more than what you pay me. But here's the thing. I don't want to put up any bull crap. I don't want to be playing politics. I'm a professional. I'm going to go in. I'm going to do what I'm supposed to do. And I'm going to make you proud of me. And I'm going to make sure that I do the job that you asked me to do. Well, unfortunately, as you go up the corporate ladder, there's a lot of games played. And I just went, I was like, you know what, screw this. You guys can have it. So anyway, the point is that network marketing offered me the ability to maintain the lifestyle that I was accustomed to while not dealing with a lot of the bull crap. Okay. And I know that dealing with people can be a challenge. So the point is that I made that determination on what I wanted. And when you go out to build your lifestyle, you're going to find out that you have certain things that you're willing to go through to get to that lifestyle. And you're going to put down what it is. And to me, when I put down my lifestyle goal, it was freedom. I wanted to be able to do what I wanted to do when I wanted to do it. And I wanted to have the money to do it. I didn't have to have a multi-billion-dollar business, and that's crazy. I mean, you know what I'm getting at. The amount I didn't. Okay, let me rephrase it. I didn't care whether I made $10 million a year or if I made $1 million a year. That didn't matter to me. I knew I was gonna put my best foot forward. I was gonna work my tail end off, and I knew that if I shot towards my goal, I'd either get just real close to it or achieve it or exceed it. I knew that because that's just the way I operated. And you have to kind of look at your situation the same way. But the thing is, I knew that the money would deliver the lifestyle. So between the two, which one was more important to me? Well, I was used to making really good money to great money. So that wasn't really the motivating factor. But I knew the role the money played in me having the lifestyle that I wanted. I didn't want to dip into my savings or in my investments to have that lifestyle. I had to develop this income outside of those so that I could make sure not only that I was living a great life right now, but that my future retirement was taken care of as well. So as you can see, my lifestyle goal was a freedom lifestyle. And so once I established that, and I would put that at the top of my list, then everything else came down. Because then I'd say, okay, if that's what I want, then I got to have at least this much a month. Let's just say $5,000 a month. I have to have at least $5,000 a month. And if I'm going to do that, then based on the comp plan with this company, I'm going to need to sponsor X amount of people. And out of X amount of people I sponsor, I know that, and there's a third formula that goes with that, which we'll teach you about. But a third of those people are going to do something really special. The other third may do something moderate and end up doing something special. So the numbers start running through your head, the experience and the knowledge. And I can sit down and I can say, okay, if I sponsor the following people, this is going to happen, that's going to happen. And based on the company's comp plan and my whole goal, and I'll tell you this little trick right now. If you're looking at a new company, any company really, but if you're looking at a new company, you say, well, you know what, how much am I going to make? And get away from trying to fully understand the comp plan. Here's a little trick. You look at the comp plan and you say, okay, if I create 10,000 PV group volume, that's everybody in your group. If my business as a whole develops 10,000 PV a month, or GV, group volume, not PV, PV's personal volume, GV, group volume per month, what is this comp plan going to pay me? And I'm telling you that if you use that as a barometer, the 90-day goals and your lifestyle goal will come into focus big time. And matter of fact, I use that when I would look at a new company. I'd say, okay, if me and my group create 10,000 group volume in 3 months, when am I going to be paid? The cash that goes in my bank, not the bonuses, not the car bonuses, not the trip bonuses. I could care less about that stuff. I want cold, hard cash in my account. What are they going to pay me? And what are the stipulations? Because some comp plans say, well, if you reach Sapphire, you've got to have 5 rubies in your business and 10,000 group volume, and you'll get paid. And let's say it's $2,000 or $2,500 a month for creating 10,000 group volume. I don't know. Every comp plan's different. There's some hybrids out there. I'm just using numbers, so don't hold me to those numbers. I haven't looked at a comp plan in a long time. Paul's better at it than I am, and I'm not bad at it, but I just haven't done it in a long time. But here's the thing. You create 10,000 group volume, then you're going to have a situation where you're going to be able to say, they're going to pay me X amount. Then you look at your lifestyle, whether it's an income level or whether it's a lifestyle level that you want to achieve, and you say, you know what? This is pretty darn close. So if I do these numbers and I create this 10,000 group volume, I'm going to be pretty darn close in 90 days to what I want to achieve. Now, how exciting is that? So you can see as I lay this out for you, how having the lifestyle that you want to achieve, whether it's 90 days, you just got to put it down on 90 days and work your tail end off to see if you hit it on the nose or if you exceed it or if you just fall short of it. Because at the end of 90 days, the reason for a 90-day mini blast, you stick your head up and you look around and you say, you know what, this isn't working. It's time for me to move on to another company. Or, hey, because you can't afford to keep misleading your downline, they're going to leave you. You got to be honest. You got to do an honest evaluation at 90 days. You got to tell your downline, look, we got to give this 90 days. You can't make a determination unless it's really bad. I mean, if it's really bad, then that's a whole different story that we'll cover later. But the point is, everything's working right. It's a legitimate company, legitimate comp plan, something that can work. Then you know what? In 90 days, you stick your head up and you look around and say, yeah, this is pretty darn good. I think I need to keep going. Or at 90 days, you say, you know what? It could be better. I need to make some adjustments, and you evaluate, or you have somebody like that's really knowledgeable of your business, and take a look at your business. Like Paul and I would look at it and say, okay, you need to do this, and you need to make an adjustment here, and you need to make an adjustment there. And we have all this in our membership area. But the point is that you have a situation where you can have somebody that you trust and it's knowledgeable to look at your business, make adjustments, and you move on. Okay. So the point is, and believe it or not, in 90 days, if you do it right, and sometimes in 90 days ends up being 120 days. It's just the nature of the beast. But the thing is, you got to have a time frame, and this business works in thirds, which we'll talk about some other time. It works in thirds. That's the reason why you do 90 days. And so at the end of the 90 days, you stick your head up. And if everything's going good, you keep on going, you put your head down, and you work your tail end off. And I'm telling you, folks, if you work your tail end off and you do the right things, in 90 to 180 days, you could set up a business foundation that could catapult you to incredible heights, income-wise and lifestyle-wise, over the next 2 years. 2 years in this business can change your life forever. If you invest your money properly and hold on to it and pay off your bills, it will change your life forever. 2 years, okay? Can you make great money between day one and year one? Yeah, you can. But if you give this business, if you really put your head down and you really go after it, 2 years is going to go by anyways. Why not put it into something that's going to change your life forever? I mean, forever. If you handle your money right, it will change your life forever. So with that being said, once again, once you have your lifestyle or your financial goals set, and they go hand in hand. I mean, look, if you just swap it and say, well, look, the money's more important to me. I need $5,000 a month. If $5,000 a month, new money, is going to change your life, it may not get you personal time freedom at that moment because you may have huge debt that you want to pay off. But the thing is, eventually that $5,000 a month is going to pay down that debt, and you're going to have a moment coming down the road. You're going to say, I don't have to have a job anymore, or I don't need to work 14 hours a day anymore. I can now work a normal 8-hour shift and spend time with family or just spend time with myself. See how that can work? So it doesn't matter. You determine which one's going to be more important. To me, it was the lifestyle, because I knew that I could develop the money. It was the lifestyle that I wanted to achieve. And I have a pretty high level lifestyle. So I knew that my income was going to have to be up there in order for me to make that happen. But once again, I always use that 10,000 group volume barometer to look at a comp plan and say, is the 90 days realistic? Is this lifestyle goal realistic in those 90 days? And I would make adjustments. If I liked the company and liked everything else, but I saw that I was going to have to reach a certain PIN level for that income, because every comp plan is going to be a little bit different. Some are going to pay more than others. And I'll be honest with you, if you got a comp plan out there that's claiming that they're paying a lot of money, 70 cents on the dollar to the distributor force, well, I'm going to tell you that that's not a good thing. But we'll talk about that another day. So with that being said, realize that the lifestyle goal that you're setting in your 90-day cycle is going to have a major impact, and it plays a major role in your success. It's going to tell you exactly what you need to do. So let's take a look at the past shows here, see how they work with this right here. And what we want to do is I want to do that so that we can make sure that we keep you guys focused And so that you guys know how all this plays in with one another. Okay, and show number one, we said, hey, so you want to be a network marketer. Okay, the reason we bring that up is because not everybody, some people are intrigued by the business model, but not everybody's cut out to be a network marketer. And you need to know before you spend your hard-earned money joining a company in this business, whether it's something you really want to do. And you have to sit down and really give some thought, look inside and say, is this what I want to do? Get away from the negativity that you hear about the industry. Look, this business model is awesome. This business model is phenomenal. Okay, yes, it's been abused by unscrupulous people, but that's not your fault. You have to look at this business for what it is. What can it do for you? Okay. So that being said, you have to ask yourself, am I willing to put in the effort? Am I willing to put in the hours? Am I willing to put in how would I say, am I willing to go through the yeses and the nos? And am I willing to train people? You got to ask yourself these questions to say, yes, I want to be a network marketer, and no, I don't. Okay. So at the same time, we went into show, that was show number one. Number two show was this. It was business builder or a network marketer. Now I know I just said so you want to be a network marketer was show number one. That was the title. So you want to be a network marketer. Now show two, I'm saying, okay, you got to make a choice. Are you a business builder or a network marketer? Okay, that's not contradictory statement there. Here's why. Yes, you decided you want to go into network marketing. Yes, I want to be a network marketer. There is a difference between being a network marketer, someone that follows other people, someone that doesn't really take control of their future. You're just kind of like an employee. You're going along and following the script and doing all these things that have been done for 60 years. And to be honest with you, rarely works. Or you're going to be a business builder. You can say, okay, I've decided I want to go into network marketing. I see the benefits of it, but now I got to determine what role am I going to play as I build this business. And you have to ask yourself, am I going to be kind of like an employee and just follow along what they tell me? Or am I going to take control of my own business, my own future, my own lifestyle? And I'm going to go out there and I'm going to do the basics. I'm going to do what Paul and Rob are teaching everybody across the globe. And I'm going to use those basic steps, business building steps, to take control of my business and build it to the level I want. That's the difference. And that's what we discussed in show number two. Okay. And all this ties together. In show number three, we covered, you want to determine what you need from this business. Okay. And that leads into kind of what we're talking about today, the lifestyle. You have to determine what you need from this business. Is it an income, a certain amount of income, $2,000, $1,500, $1,000, $3,000? What is it? Is it the lifestyle? You have to ask yourself, what is it that you need from this business? What is the most important? Okay. And that leads to what we're talking about today, as you can see. In show number four, determine the type of lifestyle you want to build. And that's where we are today, right? So you can see how one show built on top of the other and how they all correlate with one another. And that's why we're teaching you the basics. We started out with show number one. We put show number two on top of it. That subject matter was relevant to show number one. Show number three built on that, okay, on show number two and one. And today we're talking about a subject matter that is complementing and supplementing 1, 2, and 3. And they all one leads to the other. Now, tomorrow, we're going to be talking about determine the type of business you need to build, okay? Because the lifestyle and all these decisions that you're making, which obviously are instantaneous, lead up to the type of business you need to build. And remember, we talked about, I think it was show number 2, we talked about there's a retail level business, there is a small business, and there is a big business. So there's 3 different levels of business that you can build in this industry. That being said, you need to make sure that you understand, as we cap this basic business building process off, that you understand what type of business you want to build. So when you're putting down your 90-day goals, you can realize, okay, you know what, this is a small business level type approach for these 90 days. I'm comfortable with that. At the end of those 90 days, I'll look at my business and see if I want to go to the next level, or to see if I'm happy with what I have developed in those 90 days. That is what we're going to be talking about tomorrow, so you don't want to miss it. Remember, tomorrow's show is going to be determine the type of business that you need. Folks, if you're going to catch any show, catch that one tomorrow, because that one there is going to help really solidify what you want from this business. Not that the other shows haven't, but that one's going to bring all of them together. And we'll do that. We'll cap everything together, put everything together and cap it off. And then we're going to move into the really fun topics, if you want to use that term, and the exciting topics. But before we do, remember, please give us a thumbs up. Please share these videos. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. And I guess you do it on Twitter too. Follow us on Twitter. On Facebook, I know you can do all kinds of things. You can jump up and down. You can do some clapping. Facebook's got all kinds of things you can do to like a post or a video or a photo, whatever. Please share this stuff with everybody. We appreciate it if you would. Helps us get the word out. We want to have an impact as many people as we possibly can. As I said before, we love helping people. And we would teach each and every one of you face-to-face if we could, but obviously that's not possible. But this wonderful technology is allowing us to reach across the world. And as I said before, and when we look at our statistics, we certainly are reaching across the world, which is quite amazing, to be honest with you. So we know that we're having an impact already. I'll be honest with you, we're very surprised about the people that we're reaching. Don't forget about our blog. Okay, let me just put that up real quick. Here we go. There is our blog. Okay, and you want to make sure that you go there. On the blog, you're going to get the free gift. Let me show you the free gift you're going to get. If you will, I'm going to very grateful. Oops, let me take those off. There we go. We realize how blessed we are to have you watch us, because we realize how valuable your time is, and we don't want to take that for granted. So please give yourself a hand, because you took your time to listen to us, and we want to make sure that the time you share with us is valuable and productive. And the only way we can know is through feedback. All right, I've rambled enough. We've been on here long enough. You guys take care. God bless. Have a great day. If there's anything we can do, let us know. Once again, go to our website so that you can leave any kind of comment there too. There's our website. You guys have a great day. And tomorrow, 11 a.m., same time, 11 a.m. Tomorrow's topic: determine the type of business that you want. Determine the type of business that you want. All right, guys. You guys have a great day. We'll talk at you later.